No, I didn't. I didn't make the live thing on it.
Oh,
I have
okay.
to make like a separate thing on it and tell it to go live.
Oh yeah, it doesn't automatically notify.
Take it. Yeah. Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 496 for March 2nd, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another host, Kyle.
And I'm another host, Mo.
Kyle, your background looks different.
Slightly. I'm making up, doing some changes.
Doing some changes?
Yeah. Got bored of the old setup, so.
That microphone got in the way. This one's way better. Now
Yeah,
just see your
it
whole
doesn't
face.
cover my face, and
Yeah, sounds better. Yeah. Well, why don't we get into what we did in guns this week? Mo, did you want to start?
Sure. I have a lot to cover, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time if I miss mentioning anybody. So on Friday night, I went to my local club in Montreal. They do a monthly match, so I went for the build. That was on Friday. I was also going to shoot that night as well. During the build, I heard a couple of guys talking about precision shooting. So of course it caught my interest, right? Because I had that match coming up on Sunday. And sure enough, one of the guys that I met, Mardig, was going to Stittsville for his first time. So he was going to be shooting it on Sunday, not in the same squad, but he was going on Sunday to shoot this match as well. So that was pretty cool to know somebody else that was going. And then we shot the match. It was 4 stages, and Alex Berda, who's obviously one of the best production shooter in Canada. He was co-MD for the match, so he had set up the stages with another gentleman, Carl. And he had set up a couple targets at 40, a couple of large poppers at 40 yards, or 41 to be correct. So that was interesting, and it was in the range with the less good light. Let's just say that. So it was fun to shoot at those, and then it made it fun when we had to go reset those targets for every stage because somebody had to like hike out there to put them back up. So that was fun. I shot my Bull 1911 Racer in the Classic division for the first time. I'm going to say overall, I was very happy with it. In terms of, I felt I was more accurate with it. I think I had one Delta, no mics at all, and lots of alphas. I was slow, but it was I don't know if I was being cautious or. And then the other issue I had, and something I've been working on with dry fire, is making sure that the beaver tail safety is engaged. So I feel like a couple times I was like, obviously the gun didn't go off, and it's because the beaver tail wasn't depressed well, or didn't have my grip on there good enough.
So when are you gonna just pin that?
So that's what I should be doing.
Yeah.
All right. So
can you pin it? Can you pin a grip safety in IPSC?
I don't believe there's a rule against it.
I don't think there's a rule against it. Yeah.
I know you can't disable safeties, but does that count as one?
I don't believe so.
I don't think
we
so.
need a IPSC lawyer in here to
yeah,
go over that.
Paging all
it'll be in the
lawyers.
It'll be in the book.
So there was that, and then there was on some of my mag changes, they weren't super smooth. So again, that's something I'm working on. But again, overall, I was very happy with how I did with it, and I'm going to have a match this weekend, so I'm going to shoot it again and see how it goes, and then we'll see if I stick with classic or I move back to production. And I'll say that I finished top 5 in my division. Now, don't ask me how many people shot classic for this match. I'll leave it at that.
Well, what did you do overall? Because we all know that overall is all that matters.
I think it was like 41 of 80, something like that.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I mean, accuracy wise, I was up there, but I was just very slow. So that was Friday, and then Sunday I was driving to Stittsville for my first ORPS match, and I met up with Gabriel, that I think is listening right now, and I drove there with him and his daughter Eva. It was the first time I met him in person. I had chatted with him online a bit, and so we went over to the match together, and it was very interesting because when I left home to go pick him up or to pick them up, I have a Nissan Pathfinder that has a pretty good trunk, and I had filled already half of it with. I can't believe, like, going to an IPSC match, I have one large bag, but for this, I had my shooting mat, the bag. I had a milk crate of like the shooting bags in it. What else did I have? I think I brought a spotting scope, and so
Mhm.
half the trunk was already full. Then he shows up. We met in a parking lot, and then he has gear and his stuff for his daughter. And by the end of it, the trunk was completely full. And I'm like, 3 shooters, and there's like so much gear. It's just different between like a rifle match and like an IPSC pistol match, right? In terms of gear. And I'm sure 3 gun for you guys is a whole other thing too. When you
It's
got
ridiculous.
when you got 3 firearms to deal
Yeah.
with, right, and all the gear that goes with it.
Oh yeah, we go to a pistol match. And we're like, okay, what are we missing? This is all I have.
Yeah,
What am I
yeah,
missing?
You're, it's like one carry-on bag at the airport, right?
Yeah.
So so we got there. It was a snowy, cold morning, and but it was still fun. And so because of what happened a couple weekends ago when I shot outside and I told you I was getting light primer strikes with the Voodoo, I literally had I took the bolt out in the morning and I drove to the match with it in my hoodie under my coat to keep it warm. Okay. So we get there, and we were zeroing at 50 yards before the match started, right? And no issues. Okay. Gun goes off. Beautiful. All good. Then we go to do our first stage. This is my first stage I'm going to do. It was actually good because it was a simpler stage in terms of it was only one target at 50 yards, and it was one where you had to stack tires. So you started off one tire prone, one shot, then you'd grab another tire, 2 tires, 2 shots, 3 tires, 3 shots, 4 tires, 4 shots. So I thought, okay, this is great. Simple, one target to look for. I don't have to try to figure out where the targets are good. So I get that, I put the tire down, get down on the prone position, line it all up, click, and nothing. So I worked the bolt, another round, click, nothing. I'm like, great. So from the time that I did the zeroing at 50 and it was working fine to I don't know if it was 15, 20 minutes later, it no longer fired in the cold. And speaking to somebody else there that has a Voodoo, he said that it has to be kept dry. So I've like taken out the bolt now and kept it dry. I've dried it up, and I'm still waiting for the heavier spring to come. So then the rest of the match, everyone in the squad was so nice and patient. Like, people there couldn't have been more welcoming, like, to somebody who's new. And it was just like a great group of guys overall, and in my squad. And people are like, use this rifle, use that rifle, and Gabriel and his daughter let me use their rifles. So I did get to shoot like some of the stages and stuff. So that was good.
Cool.
But I was like pretty disappointed that like I invested in a rifle that, didn't fire.
High performance rifles are so picky, and pistols, right? Same
Yeah.
thing. They're picky.
Yeah, I know, but so like I mean I was disappointed because I went there like all geared up, ready to go. Like I wanted to be, I wanted to be
Mhm.
comfortable with my, I worked on again in dry fire, but I worked on it with my scope to make sure my cheek, everything was in place, that I'd get down into
Mhm.
the positions and I'd be comfortable. And then, I had to use other people's rifles that obviously aren't fitted to me, so it was different. But I did get the experience of how the match runs, and shooting off. I've never shot off a tank trap or a set of tires or a barrel or milk crates. So this was different, and it was a good experience to at least get a taste of that, and then also to to look for the different targets at the various distances and stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm glad I got that experience out of it. Um,
I'm just wondering if I don't know if you've talked to other people about it, but like using like an extreme cold lube, if that would help at all.
Graphite, maybe.
Yeah, dry graphite.
Dry
that could
graphite.
that could work. I don't know, but I'm just thinking like
Okay.
it, it's a precision gun, but you gotta be able to do something to get it to go.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna before the next because I enjoyed it, and even with that issue, I enjoyed the match and the experience so much. So I'm gonna keep doing. I want to keep doing this. So I got to figure it out. But before I go to the next match, which will be in a couple weeks, I'm gonna definitely sort it out because I'm not gonna just be an indoor shooter for this gun. Um, but like I said, everybody in the squad was like amazing. All the guys. I don't want to miss anybody's name, but Will, Greg, Rex, and then Gabriel and Eva, his daughter, the match directors, Thomas and Pascal, like all very welcoming. I met Womfat Matt for the first time, like in person, because
Oh,
he was
nice.
there. Um, he's very good, but there were lots of good shooters there. Like it's amazing. Like only a couple of misses make a like one or two misses make a difference between you know
The
finishing
top spots.
yeah, top spots. Like there's not a lot of there's not a lot of missing, right? There's a lot like, so it's so yeah.
Yeah,
So
you got some listeners. Look at that.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's Gabriel.
Yeah.
um
Mo,
yes.
I got 2 words for you. Heated bolt. Just like heated grips. You need a heated bolt. We gotta get like a little 12-volt heater on there. Keep it nice and
So
toasty.
That's gonna
No?
need a
am I
custom
supposed to put it
receiver though
like
if you put batteries in your bolt and that.
On the
There's an
side,
idea.
like some wires hanging to it.
yeah.
Canadian gun manufacturers. There you go. Develop a heated bolt for
Heated
our Canadian.
receiver. We just need to
Yes.
heat the receiver and it'll transfer
Oh, you
into
could
the
do the
bolt.
whole thing, yeah, because then you get your heated grip, heated receiver, all down to the
Mhm.
handguard.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No? Come on, man. This is gold.
Well, how has this not been done?
I don't know. I don't know. But I didn't find the humor when I was out there. I didn't find the humor in it, but it all worked out. And like I said, I like as much as I love IPSC, I can see myself loving this too because it was different. Like I'll give you in a comparison. So uh, I want to. I'll say they use the word casual, but I don't mean it in a bad way. Like in terms of an IPSC match, you have the people, the ROs working the match, right? They don't shoot. They might shoot at a different time, but they're just working the match. Where this, every squad is like kind of working itself, right? You got your spotter, you got your timer, and you
Mhm.
got the RO, right? And everybody's alternating depending on who's next or whatever. So it's like just this like everybody working together, and then the squad, finish, everybody shoots and then ready for to move to the next stage. So it's less like rigid than IPSC in terms of that perspective. Um,
And more squad camaraderie, right? Because the
More
squad is
squad
like
camaraderie.
you're
Yes,
you're
yes,
self-contained. You're watching each
yes,
other, ROing each other, getting
yes.
ready, and it's all. And you just kind of move, and you kind of do like you break down the stages together. There's no like third-party RO
Yes.
or anything like that.
Yeah, I did notice, and I'm not knocking IPSC because, like I said, I love it, but it is a different feel, and I guess, and again, this is just my first match. I would have to go other places, and like it seems like the Stittsville people all kind of know each other. It's like a big family of shooters and stuff,
Mhm.
right? So, but I mean, a great experience, and I would say to anybody that if you're not, uh, if you don't have a shooting sport right now, I would like strongly consider getting into something like this because
ORPS, CRPS, that kind of
yeah,
thing.
because I think the entry is I don't want to say easier, but there's probably like with IPSC, you have to take the black. I mean, you have to have a minimum level of skill. You have to take the black badge course. I think there's a bigger cost, but I mean, with this PRS stuff too, there's some you could spend some money too. So it's
Mhm.
not. I'm not going to say you're getting in
Well, you
cheap.
you can, but like what you're saying, like it is a low barrier of entry. You can take
Yes.
your detachable mag fed 22 out there as long as you got a couple mags and go
Yeah.
and shoot.
And I have to say too, like from an intimidation perspective, I think it's less intimidating. I don't know, like something about,
Mhm.
a holstered pistol versus, just a rifle that I guess you're controlling a little bit easier. There's less, there's no running around. I mean, you're moving you're moving around on the props and stuff, but you're not running around, right? So there's that too. Um, I think and then behind me is the indoor dry fire training system, which I ordered. Uh, And it was crazy because the guy who sells them is in Quebec. I think about an hour or so from where I live. I ordered it late on Sunday night and it was already at the post office Tuesday morning. So it was
Nice.
like, yeah, it was like I never got it. I mean, it was like an Amazon delivery. It was like almost next day. So it was pretty neat. And I've just been kind of playing with it and stuff too, like focusing on the targets and transitioning and stuff. And so that's
It looks
Okay,
like a
tell
nice
tell us more about
dry
that
fire.
picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so is it like just a high res picture that you focus in? Do you need
yeah.
something like an add-on for the
Yeah,
scope
so
to be able to see it?
on the scope, there's a cap, and when you order it, so this is like a banner that pulls out. It's a nice stand. Like I will have to show it in another show. It's on a nice stand with the legs that flip out, and it comes in a case. And you pull it up. You pull up the banner, and it's got a foldable bar that you like could
Yeah, it's a
fix.
pull-up,
Yeah, the
like
pull
at a
up. Yeah,
trade show or
Yeah.
something
at a
like
trade
that,
show,
right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly like a trade show. So, and then it's like like a high res picture, and then you put the cap on your scope, and when you order it, you have to have the measurement for the objective lens, right? So that it nicely fits over, and then there's 4 pictures. So if for the levels of you shooting from, let's say, prone to a knee, to off a higher prop, and then standing. So you got the different levels, and there's a KYL. So that's know your limits. So the little small targets.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so it's good for, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. So it's like it's got a good reputation for as a a rifle trainer, I guess. And
Good add-on to the basement, right?
yeah, I needed more stuff for I needed more gun stuff for the basement. So yeah, it's quickly filling up. But yeah, I'm like really happy with it, and like and I mean it's good value for. It's not cheap, but it's good value for what you get. Uh,
Flying Beaver was asking, what event you attended.
so is the ORPS, right? Outlaw Rimfire Precision
Series? Yep.
match, and that was in Stittsville, Ontario. And they do, so for people that aren't familiar with it, it's like the entry level match for 22 22 LR like precision shooting. And so they tend to be a little bit simpler than getting into a CRPS or the Northern Rimfire Precision or some of the other ones, because the distances are basically, there's 4 distances that targets can be set at: 25, 50, 75, and 100 yards. Um, and yeah, so that was in Stittsville. They do it. So there's a monthly match that they do across Canada. So it's the same course of fire that everybody would shoot across Canada. And then
Yep.
so there's standings related to that. So again, when you're shooting wherever you are, you're shooting the same stages, right? And there's a monthly one, similar to what they do with NLR 22 in the US, right? There's like a monthly match. Yeah, I think that's it. But again, I would highly recommend it to anybody that's like, if you don't currently have a shooting sport and you want to try something, I would say, like, give this a whirl. And they're really good. They have loaner rifles, and and it connects to the it connects to the maple seed. So if that's something else that people want to do and then transition to this, I think that would be a good path, right?
Mhm.
Um, I think that's it. That's probably the longest I've ever spoken for my segment. So I feel like Adriel
Did
tonight.
lots of stuff.
Um, okay. Again, I hope I mentioned everybody I was supposed to, and I'll do some more in the shadowed section. And go ahead, Adriel.
All right. I did a couple of things. I put out a video. Well, not I. I got my kid to do the whole stupid thing on that practice sim video. The whole thing, right, start to end. I gave him like, here's what I want in the video. Here's the like order that I want you to put it in, but like really rough guidelines. And he went and did all of it, which was very nice. Very nice. I can get someone else contributing to the videos and designing my matches for me, because I'm going to give him my handwritten ones. I'm going to say, please put it into 3D with no helicopters and no cocaine bags either, because we don't need that for the stage. I hit the range with a listener and a buddy of mine, Tom. Shot his, he's got a Maverick Renegade. He's got a Renegade in 6x45. So imagine a 223 round necked up to 6mm. And in that 6mm, you can run like 80 grain, 95 grain, that kind of thing. So heavier bullets, easier in it because you got a little bit more diameter to it. Really soft shooting. Oh, so soft shooting. That would be like you could hunt deer with that in Alberta. So it's close range, right? 6mm.
Yep.
Yeah. 80, 90 grains. Oh yeah, it'll do
Did
it.
you happen to chrono that?
Yes. They were anywhere from 2,500 at the low end to 29 when he was, I think he had some 65 grain bullets. They were
Oh, still
62.
getting
And
good
they're-
velocity.
Oh yeah. Those 60 grain ones. Well, what would a 60 grain bullet in a 223 do?
Yeah.
About 3,000, somewhere around there. So yeah, pretty much the same.
I guess it depends on what you're shooting. My 55s do about 2750 on average
What length barrel?
on the 18.5.
Oh boy, that should give you some decent velocity. But yeah, anyways, so that was really interesting. And then I did some front sight filing on the Carcanos, and I had to file a lot because I built them up quite a bit bigger than I needed them. So if I filed them down, I could get them down. I overfiled not once, but twice. So both rifles are now too low on the front sight, but that's okay. I'll add I'll skim another little layer on top there. I was actually thinking, what if like cover your ears if you're like really into milsurp authenticity, but I was thinking of gluing a fiber optic to the top of the sight.
There you go.
Is
Now
that, is that horrible?
Oh, you could take the JB weld, and that could be your strap for your fiber optic. And...
Don't
No,
give
I'm just
them
gonna build-
ideas, Kyle.
Oh no, I
Some
want to see
wet-
this. I
wet
want to
JB
see
weld,
this.
and then boop, just kind of laid on the top there, just into the JB weld.
Yeah,
Just
there you
like-
go.
Plunk it in.
Mm-hmm,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
I want to see it now.
Ooh. But it was nice being able to shoot what I was aiming at. Like as soon as I like filed them down, I was like, oh, now I was like hitting a piece of snow at 50 yards. It's like, oh yeah, I'm actually making hits with this stupid thing. I can't imagine trying to use one of those things in World War II or World War I or whatever. Like, what would you like if you're at close range, you have to aim at their feet or their belt or something like that. Anyways. Flying Beaver is saying, as I get older, ideas like that sound more appealing. Yeah, I mean the fiber optic would be it would pick the light up a lot better. The I built basically like a triangle of JB weld, and because I had to file it down so much, it's like thick. That front sight is thick, so I gotta like get that nice swoop going into it.
Just gotta
so that I can
taper it
use
in, yeah.
Well, it's only ever going to be a temporary sight because like I didn't buy them to action shoot or something like that. I just want them to be accurate enough that I can if I want to. You know, maybe I go hunting and it's going to be close in. Oh, grab a Carcano, bring that out because they're light and they're handy, and you know that would be interesting to take some deer with that. But yeah, good time overall. Oh, I didn't order that stupid die. I should have done it when we were on the show last week. I hope they still have them. Anyways, the other thing I was doing is sighting in maple seed rifles. So Canada's Gun Store sent us a pile of 1022s. So I I just sighted them all in for 50 yards. So that was pretty straightforward. Yeah, very straightforward. Although I did notice I had like I just for my rough sight in, I had a random mishmash of like 22 garbage stuff that it's been in the bottom of ammo cans and in my pockets. I chuck them all in the same bin, and this was my time to use it because I had to do rough sight in. So I shot with that, and it was interesting. Some of the rifles fire the standard and the high velocity in line, and some of them they were like very far out of line. The wood barreled one there, it would send the standard velocity ones like to the left of the my aim point, and standard velocity would be low and right, high velocity would be straight and left, which was you just got to make sure you use one or the other, right? Sighted those in. Oh, you know what I got to do? I got to make the Kydex like cheek risers for those things. A buddy of mine's coming over this weekend. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll heat up some Kydex and make those, because it just makes it so much easier for maple seed having that like adjustable cheek rest. It basically makes it so that I have to do very little to fit those rifles to people.
Are you going to use your child labor too?
No, not for this. They'll do a crappy job of it, and then I'll just have to. It'll just be more work. You got to give them unskilled labor.
Got it.
Like when I laminated, like I made up the maple seed like course book for me, Tom, and Steve, like all the Alberta shoe bosses. I had them laminate them all. So like, and it's like 200 pages per. So they're just like put the sheet in the laminator, like 5 per minute. I had them do all of them.
How do you
I paid him
attach
for that.
those?
What's
How do you
that?
attach? How do you the Kydex cheek pieces? You just do Velcro or?
Right there. So
you do drill them in permanently.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Drill them in. That's what, like, who cares about a Ruger 1022 stock, right? These things are a dime a dozen, and they're poorly designed at that. Why is there this? Do we need this? Is this useful for anyone? No. For audio listeners, there's the curve on the back of the 1022, and the comb drops so much. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if I put my face on this without this, I'm too low for the irons, way too low for the irons. So I don't know what they're thinking with this. But yeah, that makes it so some nice big some knobbies up here make it a lot easier to just like take it down or move it up or whatever you need to do to get that appropriate cheek weld. Yeah, I gotta make some of those up. There's a gun show. And one of the other things I needed to do at the range was bring my 223 rifle and sight it in for the reloaded ammo that I made. Didn't bring the rifle. Brought the ammo.
Ammo, no rifle.
Okay. Rifle. So I've got a 3-gun match not this weekend after. So it means I have to hit the range again this weekend just to do that.
Watch your gear, bring the gun and no ammo this time.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a tight weekend because there's also a gun show in Spruce Grove. I'm going to go there and finally get those screws I'm missing for my Lee Enfield. So I'm going to bring my little clips and my mid band and front band that I don't have a screw for. I'm going to find the screws, and that's all. Maybe I'll see if I can find some small rifle primers. Yeah, I could use some small rifle primers, but I got lots of bullets. I got lots of powder. Yeah, and then I can reload some more 223 through the week. Yeah, gun show this weekend. Yes, and I gotta hit so I'm gonna have to hit the range this weekend and try out that 223 ammo because my boy is gonna be. Oh, I've got 3-gun matches like 3 weeks in a row after this gun show this weekend, so I'm gonna be at the range. This happens earlier and earlier every year, but there comes a time when I'm at a range every weekend, and it's coming up. Spruce Grove. Yes, that is this weekend. So if you want, 4th and 5th is when that gun show is. So if you want to check that out, I'll be out there. I don't know which day, if I'll be Saturday or Sunday, not really sure. But I'll be digging, like some old codger there is going to have like a big bin full of screws. I'm going to be checking one by one. Nope. Checking which one fits my stupid mid band and front band for the Lee Enfield. Kevin mentions that he's gone to the range and no ammo, trigger lock keys, turn around and go back. I've cut trigger locks and cable locks, but I don't have to anymore because I've got a combo lock. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to mention because I came up on Discord recently here. Let me grab. Do I have a crappy one or just good ones? Trying to find some trigger locks here. I don't have my good ones here, but if you're looking for trigger locks, you should get a combo trigger lock. But if you get one off Amazon, do not buy the one with the little lever on the side. These ones, like some of them are okay. A lot of them are bullshit. They're terrible. If you can, get one like this that rotates the whole thing, or get the one with the little plastic push on the side.
Those are the ones I like.
That's the one. Those ones are more compact than these ones.
Yes.
So that's the ticket.
That's why I like them, because they're more compact. That's for sure.
Yeah, so they fit in your pistol cases
Yes.
or whatever better than like that's quite a
Get
bit
that
of
big ass protrusion, right?
yeah, yeah. And I think like I don't know what the mechanism is on those, but you're when you press on that plastic, you're pressing directly on the pawl and you're pushing it out. Whereas this is doing some nonsense to unlock and like
Mm.
the mechanism's trying to do too much. You can't do it cheaply. Let's see. Oh, that's got to be it for me. Kyle, you done anything new lately?
A couple things.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wasn't on last week because I was in an airport and I caught the last half of the show. It was good. But yeah, started flying down to the US on Thursday last week, stayed overnight in Calgary, and made it through border protection, got my visa. It was actually very, very pleasant, actually. I only sat in the waiting room for about half an hour and then talked to the guy at the counter for 2 minutes, sat back down for another 10 minutes, went paid, got my visa. Okay, good to go. So yeah, landed late Friday night in Midland, Texas, got a hotel, and yeah, Saturday morning, got up, drove to Carlsbad, met up with my supervisor Carrie, and kind of took me out for a quick bite to eat. Had some tacos, some real tacos, which were excellent. And after that, we hit the range. So my first day in the U.S., we went to the range and went shooting. Didn't shoot a lot, but he had his new AR build out there and his Canik TP9X compact, not subcompact, but compact. And so shot that. They were nice. And his buddies were out there, so his dad actually had the subcompact version of that TP9, I believe it was, and was trying to sighting it in. So I got to have some rounds out of that, and yeah, sat there talking for a bit, getting used to talking to US and hit it off right away, and some good conversation, and getting ready to build my AR. So
Oh.
You're sorry, you're what? I can't like can you even say that word?
I can, yeah.
I thought it would like stop at the border or like CBSA would intercept it, but no.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, wait, you're Canadian, you can't have one of these, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. But so I thought that was awesome that my first day in the US and I was already shooting and got my hands on an AR. My second day in the US, I got to experience a massive dust storm and had a bunch of emergency alerts for winds. And so we had 80-mile-an-hour winds on Sunday and just massive dust storm. It was wild.
Wow.
So I was driving a little bit after lunch when it was just building and alerts started coming in, and I was like, okay, I think I go hunker down in the hotel for a bit. And then the rest of the week, I got to tour the area quite well because spending the weekend in Carlsbad, and then Monday I drove to Andrews, Texas, and I spent a few days there doing orientation with the new job. And then yeah, this morning I woke up, drove to Big Spring for more orientation. And then we had to drop off the rental car. So from Big Spring down to Midland, drop off the rental car, and a manager drove me from Midland back to Andrews to grab my work truck, load that up, and then back to Carlsbad. And so now just getting all my stuff set up, laptop and all that, and social security number, and pretty soon here I'll be able to buy some guns and start building.
Cool.
So, but it's I remember, I think Spencer was mentioning, I gotta give him credit on this because I believed it, but half believed it because I've spent some time down here. But even in the last week, with the thought of like, hey, I'm living here and then dealing with the work, and it's different, definitely. It's gonna be some adjustment, but I think it's good. So, but that's the update I have. Is just it's cool.
In the US.
In the US, yeah.
Land
It
of
still
milk
hasn't
and
sunk
honey.
in. I'll be standing out there at night and be like, holy crap, I'm in Texas or I'm in New Mexico, and like this is basically home. Like,
But it's
So-
like America is so similar to the US, like the people and like, yeah, the work environment's different,
Yep.
but there's so much that's so similar that
there is.
yeah, it's you're not going to get that culture shock like you'd get if you moved to somewhere that that was very different.
Yeah, I mean New Mexico, it's definitely different. There's a lot of Hispanic or like lots of Spanish being spoke.
Mhm.
That, and I mean everyone's good. Everyone I've met has been awesome and amazing. So yeah, hopefully in another week or two. I was checking out an apartment today, put an application for that. So hopefully in the next week or two, I will have our place secured and actually be setting that up
In a home.
in a home. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a bit before I get my full setup done. It'll probably be a while, but I'll be progressing. Until then, we get hotel rooms.
Well,
Yeah.
at least you don't have to make the bed.
Yeah. I do wish they had a coffee maker though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have a coffee maker anywhere I go.
Well, and provide coffee because I'm doing it cheap because it's on my dime in that. So I'm staying in Motel 6, no coffee maker. Stayed at Days Inn in Andrews, Texas. First day I had coffee. Cool. Had a cup of coffee. Come back from orientation. Didn't refill my coffee. I wasn't allowed coffee the rest of the time there.
It's crazy.
Can't you get like a $10 like personal brewer from Walmart or something like that?
I'm probably going to end up doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would have been the first thing I bought.
But yeah, no, it's been good so far, and that's basically what it's been the last bit. So just adjusting and all the fun work stuff on the new job, and then dealing with the cross border stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, aside from all that paperwork, we're still very jealous of you.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
we'll be set up for when you guys take a trip down and visit.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, not this time. No.
All right. Let's get into upcoming.
Oh,
events.
actually, sorry,
Oh.
I do. I was going to mention. Midland has a 511 store, so before I left there on Saturday, I picked up a couple bags. Picked up a new laptop bag, which unfortunately does not fit either of my laptops. Yeah.
What are you
And
gonna
then,
like strap it to the molly on the outside or?
Actually, I checked before I took the tags off, so at some point I'll just have to take a trip back to Midland and see if they'll exchange it or whatever. It turns out I need like a 14-inch screen laptop, not the standard 15.6.
Mm.
So yeah, I just got my work laptop and tried it. It's like, no, it doesn't work. But then I got a new kind of like everyday carry sling bag just for your normal
Nice.
everyday stuff. So
Cool.
So yeah, you get 511 store. You gotta go check it out. And that was funny because the owner there, he just showing me all this cool stuff that they've got, and now you just, oh, did you see this? Oh, did you see this? And it was cool. Like they have a backpack that just in a little stuff sack, super lightweight, attaches to your molly, and you can just unpack it and super lightweight little day bag or whatever.
But
you're
gonna have all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's get into upcoming events. For upcoming events, March 4th and 5th, the Edmonton Capital Region Gun Show in Stony Plain. I'll be there one of those days. There is an International Women's Day, a Ladies' Day at Stittsville. That'll be March 11th. The Chaz 3-gun April match is open and on practice score. Selling out pretty quick. There's 20 spots left, I think. Battle of Alberta for 2023 the registration will open April 15th. So if you want to make it out to that big bad 2-day event, that registration will open April 15th and should probably sell out pretty quick. The Sunridge Gun Show will be on April 29th. Admission is $10 and kids under 12 are free. Go there and say hi to Pete. Let's go into the news. Sad news. Sad news.
Hmm.
Strelok might be getting banned. Apparently, the developer's Russian, and the US is like, oh, Russian app. Nope, can't have that. We're pseudo at war with those guys. So can't use this cool. Do I still have it on my phone? Did it get removed?
I do.
I don't know. You do?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just do it for the US. Wouldn't that be cool? Yes, I still have Strelok Pro. I'm still good to go there. I wonder if it's going to prevent people from installing it. Yeah.
It's a cool
You're
app.
muted if you're trying to talk.
I really like it.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you just can't download it anymore, or if you've already, because I bought the Pro, so if I can't use it, I'd kind of like a little bit of a refund on that. But not that it cost a whole lot, but
Still, it wasn't free.
no.
I see it's still on the Google App Store. Igor Borisov. He's got the most Russian name ever.
Tell you, once I got my work phone set up on like a US account, I'll check to see if it's on, because I know I've been trying to get certain apps, and that's the thing, being down in the US, I've been trying to watch streaming stuff, and nope, not available here. Even Paramount Plus, for some reason, I got it on my tablet. I downloaded Paramount Plus on my tablet, but because it's from the Canadian App Store, because of my iTunes account and everything, I can't play anything. I can't even load up the app. But Netflix will change what is available.
So they have a better library, Netflix US?
Yes and no. The stuff I wanted to watch isn't there, but
all right. Let's get on to the next thing. This isn't really a news item. It's not related to guns, but it kind of is.
Kind of is, yes.
Kind of is. There's been some findings. There's a leak of information from CSIS that I think the Globe and Mail got access to, of some election manipulation that China was having that was to the benefit of the Liberal Party. I don't think that news by itself is at all a surprise. But the Liberal Party, including Trudeau, have been sketchy AF on their responses to this stuff, to the point of like, if you want to question MPs whether they were influenced, that's racist. He's like throwing everything at it to try to deflect, and it looks so bad right now.
And they're being called out on it now too, which is nice to see. So
by everyone, the Toronto Stars,
yes,
turning on them like
the Teflon is wearing off. It's fantastic.
Hopefully. Like the NDP said that they're calling for an independent inquiry, and for that to happen, and them risking like, it's maybe we'll get an election sooner, and maybe before C21 goes through.
That would be
awesome.
wonderful. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, even just to delay it some more.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's happening. So not really news, but maybe it'll have a good positive impact on us. If you want to have a positive impact that's a little bit more relevant and coming up soon, the CCFR Legal Challenge is going to be happening April 11th to 20th. That's CCFR versus Canada. And there's CCFR and Alberta versus Canada, and some other people versus Canada.
Other people, yes.
Yeah, it's not a one-sided fight. If you'd like to help that out, I know that's quite a big expense that they're going to be incurring with, I don't know, just like 1 million lawyers and charter lawyers. That sounds expensive, doesn't it? That sounds very expensive to me.
Yeah.
If you want to help them out, send an email, EMT, to finance@firearmrights.ca. Let's get into new gun stuff. New gun stuff is brought to you by Bullseye North. If you need a new boomstick, Bullseye North is Canada's shooting superstar and a proud supporter of the CCFR. They've got a wide selection of guns and top trending gear for any shooter. Subscribe to their new email, weekly newsletter to get first access to the hottest deals. Keltec. No, wait. MMP. What is this? FPC? Is that what it is? The FPC that's coming out? So I think that someone at Smith & Wesson snorted a line of coke and looked at Kel-Tec Sub 2000.
Mhm.
That was it. You know, if you're not familiar with it, it folds underneath, and they're like, wait a minute, if you fold it underneath, you can't use the optics on it. What if ours folded sideways? Mind blown. So that's what they did. They made a side folding PCC. Which, I mean, if you take a look at it, it's much bulkier than the Sub. The Sub 2000 is tiny when it folds up because it folds up the correct way. If you fold it sideways, you get something that's like a lot bulkier sideways, but you can mount a scope or a red dot or something, and it works. There is a way of doing that on Sub 2000. They have like a little like rotating dot mount thing that I think Midway sells, but way better to just mount directly to a rail. So that's a thing. You know, Smith & Wesson copied Kel-Tec's KSG as well, didn't they? They had a KSG, I think something that looks like a KSG. Yeah.
The MMP 12.
They've been getting into the Coke just like Kel-Tec.
Yeah. You must think like, hey, low budget and it was working for Kel-Tec. Maybe they'd give it a go.
Yeah. Oh, Tony was mentioning that the Smith & Wesson FPC has less mag compatibility than the Sub 2000. That is true. And I mean, one thing, I mean, if let's say you have a Smith & Wesson MMP9, you could get this thing, or you could get one of these guys here. You can get the Sub 2000 with the MMP multi-mag that will take that. Now I saw something interesting on here. Okay, comes with the Smith & Wesson MMP mag plus conversion for SIG P320, CZ75, and Beretta 92 mags. I didn't know that Sub 2000 had a version that used the CZ75 mags.
I didn't know that either.
Because I'm like, any IPSC shooter that shoots production and has like a Shadow 2 or something like that is like flush with CZ75 mags, right?
Yeah.
And if you wanted a very cheap rifle to shoot, I guess you could get one of these. You don't have to fold it, right? You could put like a sight or a scope on it or a red dot and just not fold it. They're still super compact.
Yep.
That's a decent price. So Tenda Canada has those for $850 right now, which is that seems like a decent deal. I know like a while back, these were like $600, but those days are long gone.
That was a while back, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't think anybody's selling it for $600 now. Not that I've seen.
No. Maybe used if you could find someone like some old codger who bought it for $600 and you could convince them to sell it what they paid for it. But
more codgers, eh?
More codgers, yeah, just like the word. Well, we're on Gotinda, and this one is from one of our listeners. They pointed out that they're selling the STV Scorpio 9mm for $719 per 2000, which is $360, right?
Yeah.
But then Mo, you found a better deal than this, right?
But that was the one fit. That's Rangeview had the 115 grain for what did I say, 333, something like that.
Was it Blazer? Nope.
No, it was PMU.
PPU.
Sorry.
Yeah, they had or no
PMC.
PMC.
It was P something.
Woo!
Yeah, and that PMC, like that's, I know their 223 ammo is good.
That's 115 grain, but that's still a very good price.
Damn, that is a good price.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I don't really have anything else. Yeah, Tony was saying that the CZ mag is a later edition. They keep adding more compatibility on the multi-mag version. Does this adapt to all of those? Multi-mag's most convenient. Do you have to buy any like adapters or anything like that, or does it just work?
I would imagine you'd have to have like an insert or something for that.
Plus conversion for all of those. It says it's going to take them all. Very interesting. Yeah, Nuno is saying that PMC is excellent ammo. Yeah, I agree.
I've had good luck with it.
Yeah. What's their shipping like from Rangeview?
I don't think it's free like Tenda.
Oh, you're breaking my heart. But not
Sorry.
really, because I have a ton of this stuff. I just want to see what the shipping's going to be like.
I
Just
could
gonna
be
Oh, yeah.
wrong,
Tony says
but
it's a swappable insert. I figured it'd have to be something
Ah.
like that.
hmm
But if it comes with all the inserts, then awesome.
Suggests that it does. That's cool. That's really cool. It
But
makes
you know
it-
what? But you know what's good though, that we're seeing the 9mm prices come down.
Mhm.
So
333.
yeah, it's a good sign for overall that we're going to start seeing these prices come down. So
I think thinking back 3 years ago, I got some aluminum case 115 for $200 per
yeah, that
thousand.
sounds right.
So if the brass is down to 333, yeah, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there.
Yeah.
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 Because it doesn't sound like the primer situation's getting better anytime soon. So for people reloading, we need cheaper factory ammo.
There's some options, like the Gynex primers are cheap if you can find them, and that covers you for small pistol.
Yeah.
But if you like large rifle is hurting right now.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Chris was saying last week you talked about ISSF sporting and hunting rifle matches. Too bad it's difficult to get a spot due to limited ranges and allowed shooters. I guess it must be in demand where it is. I haven't seen them out west here, but yeah, some shooting sports are very much in demand. If you want to get into some of the IPSC matches and that kind of thing, you're basically alarm set on your phone at 1 or 2 minutes
Yes.
before you
Yes.
go on, refresh, buy, and just
Yeah,
like,
that every
Yeah.
IPSC match I register for, it gets exactly what you just said. A reminder, and then start refreshing with a minute to go, and then
Yeah.
how
register.
quick do they sell out? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Some
hour?
matches 2 minutes. Like it's yeah.
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 Yeah, the spring 3-gun matches have been fairly easy to get into, but that's just because, well, spring. Here in Alberta, spring is still winter. It's there's still snow on the ground. It could be minus 20. We don't really know, but yeah. But I'm glad to hear that it's quite busy out there. And Tony was saying, yeah, there's a swappable insert, but Glock isn't part of the multi-mag system. If you want Glock, you're stuck with Glock. Maybe that's why I haven't seen them, because all the ones I've seen have been Glock versions. Cool. That is very interesting. Oh, it's not automated. Emails to match director, they simply have limits of range time. I see. So they can only get in so many people through.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Got to get on practice score. Everything on practice score. Yeah.
I love practice score.
Oh yeah.
I wish my whole life could run through practice score. No, I'm serious.
No, I think that was actually probably one of the single greatest thing to happen for shooting sports is
Yeah.
practice score.
Yeah, because imagine if there were multiple versions of that were all kind of good. We'd
Wow.
have like, oh, I gotta register.
Yeah, you got to
for
go
that,
here for this, and you got to there
course.
for that. Yeah.
Well, then you have sporting clays.
Oh, is that what it
Does
is?
Sporting
Oh
Clays
yeah,
use?
there's win score. There's a couple different ones, and like even just their scoring, yeah, for publishing results and that it's
They need to get with the times.
I've tried. Alberta's went and even after suggesting practice score went and developed their own app and everything, and it was already there. But
Yeah. Why are you
needed some
reinventing
tweaking,
a
but,
wheel that exists?
like it needed some tweaking, but yeah, it was already there. But yeah, Alberta Sporting Clays developed their own, or I guess actually CNSCA. That is actually CNSCA, so Canada wide. They have their own. They call it leaderboard, and it's broke. It needs some work, but yeah. Oh well.
Cool. Why don't we get into the main topic? So today our main topic is going to be guns and ammo pricing in the U.S. And for that, we're going to go live to our correspondent on the ground, El Jefe.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't able to get a very big list. I can say that showing up to a store here, you're not saving any money. I was seeing 9mm, so 1,000 rounds. I can't remember the brand, but it's 124 grain, full metal jacket, 9mm, and it was $380 US for 1,000 rounds.
Whew.
So
Ouch.
that's probably pretty close to about 420 to 440 Canadian for 1,000 rounds of
Mhm.
9mm. Small pistol primers, 1,000 of them was like $125
US.
US.
Mm.
I think shotgun ammo, they were more of like a field shell, but even those
Mhm.
they had to have been like $13-15 a box US.
It's not
So
necessarily cheaper.
no. But Kerry, the guy who took me out shooting, we got talking, and for one, unlike guns, you can get ammo shipped to your house here.
Mhm.
And so he said that's how you have to do it. You just have to go find the online stores, and that's where you find your deals. And yeah, I think he was buying 9mm, I think, for about 50 cents a round online.
That's still not very good. Tony was saying, go buy some stuff from Lucky Gunner.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's an option. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
all these you got all these places online you can order from now.
Well, I've been seeing some signs on the highway called dguns.net, and apparently it's the largest online firearm store. So,
Yes.
but yeah, that's 50 cents US. So, Flying Beaver.
50.
Yeah,
That's $500 for 1,000. No, that's more expensive. It's
no, I
gotta be
think
cheaper
I think that's what he was buying 223 for.
Oh, those 223. Oh, well, that's
which
not...
is still better. Which is still better than what I was seeing last year. Last year, I was
Yeah.
buying ammo down here for 75, minimum 75 cents a round.
Ugh.
US.
Yeah. Yeah. Counting your shots. You're going for accuracy. You're not double tapping anything.
Guns. Well, I mean, there was a Anderson AR lower. So we in town here, we basically have just it's a pawn shop. It's a guns and pawn, and they have a bunch of guns in there. They can basically get anything in. And so I stopped in there real quick and was having a look around, and they had an AR lower in just the cheap plastic vacuum with the cardboard back kind of thing. I believe it was in Anderson, and it was like $75 for this AR lower. So like the guns are cheaper. The ammo, stuff you feed it with, if you walk into the store, is not cheaper. In fact, it's from initial looks, it's more expensive.
I think that it's because the demand there is so much higher than supply of ammo.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
They're panic buying, and they're going nuts on it, so they can afford to increase the prices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And here in Canada, we can get ammo from Europe and from China and from other places to help offset that cost.
Yeah. And Tony's saying larger than Brownells, really? And I don't know. This is what they put on the billboard. So, I mean, there's a pawn shop in Beaver, Utah that advertises itself as the largest gun store in Utah. So, I mean, who knows? And actually, that's that pawn shop we stopped at last year that had it was the 15 mil basically exploding like grenade round in that. But yeah, no, from the looks of it, you have to buy online for your ammo here.
You gonna get a suppressor for your AR?
If I can. I might have to. I gotta check into that to see if I need to have perm to get NFA items.
Just thinking of all the things I'm going to be jealous of.
Yeah.
Yep.
You won't be jealous of SBRs, but suppressor, yeah.
What do I don't have an SBR. There's nothing I have over here.
What blank barrel do you have on your AR?
Oh, that's 12-inch. That would be
there. You go.
And it's also got a vert grip on it too.
Oh, it doesn't matter as long as you're not in California.
Oh yeah. Well, sorry, I should put the vert grip on one of the pistols. That would make it illegal. That makes the pistol into something that.
Well, that's why the AR pistols are such a big thing down here, is because of the whole SBR. Because it has to be anything. If it's shorter than 16 inches, but it's over 16 inches with your brake, you have to pin your brake or weld it. or have a minimum 16-inch barrel, or pay your tax stamp for SBR.
But you can just pay. It's just a fee. $200 to here, $200
Yeah.
there. You can have a short-barreled suppressed AR. with
Well, that's going to
30-round
be like
mags.
$400 and probably
Mhm.
about 6 months in suppressor purgatory.
Whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. You're not going to have 30-round mags. You're going to have 10-round mags because you're in New Mexico, right? What's your mag law down there?
There is no mag laws at this time. They're trying to pass one, but and the guys we were at the range, and a couple of guys I was talking to don't think it's going to pass, but who knows?
Could always just
I
buy
hope
a
it doesn't
magazine,
pass.
but just buy 3 mags. Buy 3 30-round Magpul mags, and maybe a D50 or
Well, I'm gonna. So I already have sitting at home that's coming down with me in my D60. About 3 40-round mags. One of them does have the Terran extension on it. Obviously, these are all pinned right
For
now.
now.
Yeah, for now. Once they
For
get
now.
stateside, I'll drill those rivets out.
Mm,
And
free.
probably 4 or 5 30-rounders. It Magpul D50, but I don't shoot 308, so I got the D60 for my 223.
Very good. If you get an AR-10, you got to get a D50.
Oh, yes. Yeah, if I get an AR-10, yeah, D50 for sure.
Loaded up with $100 worth of ammo. See how fast I can get rid of $100. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all gone.
But well, to break down the guns a little bit, like Kerry just built his AR, and it was more budget. It was an Arrow receiver set. Pretty sure the barrel and gas block were match set, so Black Rain Ordnance barrel and gas block. You got a fancy big brass muzzle device, or brass colored muzzle device. Your standard charging handle, I think it was an Anderson collapsible stock, and he said he built it for less than $500 US.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
I was expecting like $1,000.
And I
Wow.
think looking at the trigger, I asked him, he didn't know. He just bought what Buddy told him. I think he's got a Geisley in there.
Nice.
So,
Very
but
nice.
he does need an H3 buffer and to tune that gas block, in my opinion, because I like tuning it right on that fine edge.
You know what I'm most jealous of? Everything on Brownells you can buy and ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brownells has all sorts of. Oh, you can buy from Midway.
You can buy from all of them. Yeah.
Optics Planet.
I can finally order my Briley stuff.
Oh.
I know.
All this stuff. Midway's got a bunch of stuff that you just can't get in Canada. Brownells too. Like they have a bunch of stuff you can't get in Canada, and you don't have to deal with import, export. No, it's probably like free shipping. Probably
ship to the FFL,
and you don't have to see that message. Items in your cart cannot be shipped to your country.
Yeah,
that is the worst.
Yeah.
It's worse getting the email afterwards. Whoops.
Or after, or if you complete it. Yeah. You're like, I made it. I'm in.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't send that one to you Canadians.
No. We're not sending it to you, sucker.
Yeah. That's what I thought Strelok was when I saw the notice that it was getting banned. I'm like, oh, ITAR strikes again, but no, it was because the guy's Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I bet you it won't get banned in Canada. I bet
Good.
you'll still be able to use it in Canada.
I'm just learning to use it and I like it, so
we follow up
because there's different app stores for Canada and the US.
So. Maybe. How are the pistol prices down there?
They're pretty good. Those Canics they were talking about were right around $400.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, the gun, like I said, the gun prices. I mean, if you still want premium, you still want premium. If you want a custom 2011, you're still like, if you want to get an Atlas or a Hayes or any of those, you're still spending probably about $6,000 to $7,000 US on that gun. And that's not an open gun. But you can still get, you can get your budget guns. You can just get your normal guns. I was looking at over-unders, 725 Satori. They're running anywhere between $2,800 and $3,300 US. And that's a good new over-under shotgun. I mean, you could still, there's a ton of over-unders that you can get that are $400 or $500.
What's that Satori price in Canada? Like, is it about the same?
They're probably actually, they are probably about the same. You're probably looking like the 725 Browning 725 in Canada is probably average about $3,000. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's been a while since I've looked at them, but I wasn't looking at 725s. I want a 525 or at the very newest a 625.
Hmm.
I don't want a
Well,
725.
a 725 at Cabela's is $4,300.
Okay, so
Mm.
yeah, they're matching up then. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anything else to talk about for U.S. gun prices and that kind of thing?
I would say it's about what you expect. Your guns and accessories, you're saving money on. If you want premium, you're still paying premium, but it's still just a little bit less.
Mm-hmm.
And just because there's more available on the market, it seems like the prices are so much cheaper because you're looking at subcompacts and that for $300-400, where you don't even look at those guns in Canada because they never make it there.
Yeah.
You
get to
parts,
look
yeah,
at
their
look
parts are
at
cheap.
all the baby guns.
Yeah. Well, and big thing is not having to be imported into Canada, so there's not that cost. Never mind the cost of shipping it to Canada.
Yeah.
But the one that got me was just how much difference the ammo price was, and how expensive the ammo actually is when you just walk into the store here in Carlsbad. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully the prices come down, or you're able to order online and get some better prices on ammo. But we're all very jealous of the guns that you're gonna have available and the accessories that you're gonna be able to order
Yes.
online. Anything to your heart's content.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I bet.
All right. Well, time to stop being jelly. Let's get on to listener feedback. Facebook and YouTube, I think we've been hitting them. Tony mentioned you can't get the SS211 tiny break action in the US. Yes, that's correct. Although that thing's terrible to shoot. It's a cool shotgun, but my God, they're so bad to shoot. Did I get all the other ones? I think we did. All right.
So.
We didn't get any emails. YouTube comments. We got some of those. Let me pull some of them up. Tony, who's on live here, was mentioning on episode 495, finding out about all the amazing shooting sports was quite difficult for me when I was still a new PAL holder with no family background in firearms. I knew that there were a few very expensive indoor ranges, and that's about it. One of them that I did my safety course at. I think the CCFR Canada Downrange Series is a must-watch for anyone new to shooting. And I found myself a home range and introduced to me by that series. I don't know if it's possible to hand out Slamfire Radio or Maple Seed pamphlets at the firearm stores and Canadian firearm safety courses. I really think it can benefit the beginner shooters and help them find a shooting sport that they are truly in love with. Yeah, I mean, it would be good to get more of the PAL instructors to mention Maple Seed, because I think that's like a logical next step after you get your PAL. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great next step.
It's like you have your firearms license, you buy a gun, and then what? What happens? What comes next?
You learn how to use it. Yeah.
Shooting inaccurately, wounding deer, missing the targets. Yeah.
Dealing with frozen bolts.
You buy the Gucci rifle, you get the Gucci problems.
Yeah. Is that a bolt in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Like, that's going to be the next thing. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah. No, sorry. Why do you take your bolt out of your gun? And
in between shooting, I'm gonna be
in between stages.
Mo, what are you doing in your pocket? Please don't do that here.
Just say you really believe in safety. No, sorry,
I
don't trust it. Yeah, I have to have the bolt out and inside my pants.
It's a thing.
Another comment Tony had here from the last episode. I was fortunate enough to meet Taylor and his Raven at an event at BTSA this weekend. Funny enough, I was listening to you on the drive out there. The Raven looks quite nice with little maple leaf details instead of stars and stripes. Modularity of an AR rifle. I saw Taylor already had a few race parts installed. Competition flat trigger, beaver tail, grip, mag, pull, stock. Mostly ambi except for the ejection pattern. But Taylor's left-handed, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah. I know he was playing. He was actually even playing. He was getting short stroke spacers made up so that the bolt doesn't go drive all the way back to the receiver, and that he was doing a lot of playing around with those. Yeah,
that's some gamer stuff.
Yeah.
This every week this is going to happen. Every week. Your Gersan. Did you properly break it in the first time? I've had no problems with mine.
Yeah.
Every week like clockwork.
Yep.
That Gersad video. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Leaf Rimfire, who was our guest last week, says, "Thank you, Slamfire Radio, for your support of Sporting Rifle. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about this sport. It was great again to talk to Kelly and Angel, and fantastic finally meet you, Mo. Thank you, folks, for everything."
Yeah. He was a great guest and another sport for people to get into. So
Yep.
whatever it is, get into a sport.
You bet. Chris is saying that Maple Seed also needs more dates to accommodate more people. I'm booking dates right now, man.
Need
You
more
got-
instructors and shoot bosses so that you can have more events.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
working every weekend, aren't you, Adriel? And I'm sure Kelly is too.
No, I would be divorced very quickly if that happened. I am doing 2 weekends per month, but they're usually
Wow.
double headers.
But
They're
that's a
usually double
lot
headers.
still.
Any more than that, and yeah, I would be living in the van full time, not just
You'd
for the
be in
maple
a-
seeds.
Down by
You'd
the
be in a
river,
no-tell motel.
Yeah, and start a YouTube channel, right?
yeah.
From the road. The very next comment, and we've already read this one though, is someone saying that you need to break it in with a period of 40 rounds on the Gersan again. So I'm not going to read that one.
Fingers.
Just going to move on with life. Nothing on Instagram or anything like that. We had enough people buy stuff from our Cabela's link that I'm going to pull that up and kind of rip through those.
Okay.
We'll try to guess as to what style of shooting each of these people are doing. So again, on the Slamfire Radio website, we have a link to Cabela's. If you're in Canada and you want to buy something on that Cabela's link, you pay the same prices, but we get like a kickback from it. So if you're going to buy something from Cabela's anyways, go to Slamfire Radio's website, click the link, and then buy your thing on Cabela's. The first purchaser bought Norinco 762x39, 25 boxes of it. These are 20 rounds to a box, and this was non-corrosive stuff. It was a good price. It was 50 cents a round, if I can remember the sale. So
I was going to say, didn't think you could buy that ammo in that low a quantity.
Mhm. little red boxes. They're commercial. They're not surplus. It's commercial new-ish ammo.
That's being funny. Yeah.
Okay. 762.
Yeah.
You can't buy 762.
Usually you just buy
crates.
crates. Yeah.
How many crates? Yeah. Another person bought 2 boxes of Winchester Super X ammo, a Savage Axis, and a cantilever mount. Must be going hunting.
Yeah.
Next person decided to buy everything that MDT makes from Cabela's. They bought an MDT mag, MDT rings, MDT muzzle brake, and an MDT 20 MOA scope base. They're spicing up a PRS
Doing
rifle,
some long
looks like.
range.
Yeah, yep. I figure as well. And then another person bought some 22 LR ammo, and they bought the crappy cable lock off of Cabela's. Now we said we'd make fun of people. We were mostly like messing around with it, but I don't want to make fun of the person that bought this. I want to say, don't buy these. They ended up buying this guy right here, and I probably have a dozen of these, like box.
Those are the
decks here.
freebies in the cases.
Yeah, these aren't very good. I would instead recommend a combo cable lock. And so two things. If this is for a trigger lock, I found mine. Get one of these.
Yes.
Get one of those. Here, I'm going to go full screen just so I can show all the video viewers here. That trigger lock is much more compact sideways than your typical ones.
Yes.
And it's very functional. So if you need a trigger lock, get that. If you need a case lock, keep in mind you've already trigger locked your pistols. Get the cheapest, shittiest combo lock
I like
with a cable. Yeah, these things cost very little. They work really well. And it was the lock buyer was me to lock up my Henry 22 lever rifle. I think I'd still use the trigger lock or one of these. No, I wouldn't use one of these. Those small cable locks are great to lock your Milsurp ammo cans. Yeah, I love these things because they lock a case or they lock some guns too. But Tony, talk to any gun owner and they have piles of those locks that they will give you for free I have like a dozen of them. Yeah. Let's move on to Patreon, Utreon. If you'd like to help support the show, go on over to Patreon or Utreon and sign up over there. David, who is a firearms instructor, is mentioning that cable locks are needed for locking up lever actions. Trigger locks don't work on all levers well or at all. I guess. I don't really think about locking long guns because I take them to the range in transport. You don't need to lock them, and on my place, they're in a gun room, so I almost never lock my my non-restricteds.
Me too.
Yeah. Shout outs.
Oh, we have
You're
to
muted.
we have to mention for our live listeners the new night of the week. Wednesdays.
Oh yeah. We're going to be on Wednesday next week and the weeks after. Wednesdays at 6 Mountain, 8 p.m. Center of the Universe time.
Yes.
And yeah.
An hour later than we're normally on, and one day of the week earlier.
Yes.
1 day and 1 hour. Something like that.
I'm going to go shoot some Thursday night fun nights at Sherwood Park with my Thursdays.
I'm promising a 1 day fresher version of me every week.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Any shout outs?
Kyle?
You're still on mute. Maybe you got the mute on your headset because it doesn't show a mute there. Something's not working though.
Okay, I can go. My shout out is to all the people that I met at the Stittsville match. It was, like I said, an amazing group of people. The people I went with, Gabriel and his daughter Eva. I didn't mention her during my segment. She's 13 years old and very impressive young lady in terms of shooting. I think she's been doing it for about a year, and I think she's going to be really good because if she keeps at it, she's going to be terrific. So that's my shout out.
Awesome. I don't have any shout outs. El Jefe, is your no? Nope, still not working. I'm gonna just voice him over. He would like to shout out Satan. Weird. Okay. Well, I don't know why you do that, but it's a strange thing to shout out. No? Santa? I misheard you. I don't like that kind. Oh, we can't hear you at all. I'm trying to read lips. It's not working. The connection's going out. Got that motel internet that's not working that great. But I don't see that he typed anything in. So for the live listeners that are watching right now, so we stream live to Facebook and Utreon. Sometimes we stream to YouTube. If we handle guns, we can't stream to YouTube though, so we don't always stream on there. If you want to watch us every time, Facebook or Utreon, and we may be putting some spicier stuff on Utreon soon because we can. So check us out over there. Like us on Facebook. Join the CCFR, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night, everybody.